What's up, fellas? Welcome back to the New Party Podcast, where the real talk goes down. Today, we're bringing you the best of the man cave, straight fire from the guys only zone. This is where men get raw and unfiltered on the topics that really matter. We're breaking down the Iran war and what this escalating situation means for America. We're looking at Trump's massive support surge and why the movement is unstoppable. And we're going hard on the culture war battles that are hitting men right now. No spin, no soft take, just real men's conversations on politics, current events, and the issues affecting America in 2026. If you're a man who wants straight talk on the biggest fights of our time, you're in the right place. Drop a like, get locked in, and let's get into the man cave.
Ships traveling through the Strait of Hormuz, that narrow channel through which a fifth of the world's oil passes, were struck by suspected Iranian drones. That is, U.S. officials tell us that they see that Iran may be taking steps towards laying mines in those very waters. The U.S. military says it's hunting Iranian mine-laying ships in the Persian Gulf, but Iran appears to have tightened its grip on the choke point of the Strait of Hormuz, through which a fifth of the world's oil passes. Just this morning, 3 ships in the Persian Gulf reported being struck by suspected Iranian drones. The U.S. says its strikes have significantly reduced Iranian missile and drone fire.
Ballistic missile attacks continue to trend downward, 90% from where they've started, and one-way attack drones have decreased 83%.
But Arab states along the Gulf, including the U.S. bases they host, still face dozens of daily missiles and one-way attack drones. In Bahrain, drone strikes targeted a residential building and an oil refinery, which has been smoldering for days. Dubai's airport confirming it was targeted by 2 drones, which left 4 people wounded.
If the war ended today, would it be enough? Could you consider it a success?
It's definitely not a victory. I have to say that, because the regime is not going to capitulate, not in a million ways.
The U.S. and Israel say they have hobbled Iran's military with over 5,000 strikes. In Tehran, video shows cratered streets, body bags are laid out on the ground. And what the regime says was a residential high-rise hollowed out by a missile. Red Crescent rescuers claw through the skeleton of the building, rubble all around. And a new front is expanding. In Lebanon, the stronghold of Iran's main proxy in the region, Hezbollah, which began firing rockets and drones at Israel at the onset of the war. Israel now ordering more people to leave areas it is targeting. The UN says nearly 700,000 people have been forced from their homes. And we're also learning more about the costs of this war. A Pentagon estimate says that in the first 2 days of this war alone, $5.6 billion were just spent on munitions. But there's also a human toll. The Pentagon also saying that about 140 U.S. service members have been wounded, but they say that most of them have returned to duty.
Do you regret your vote right now?
Well, between him and her, I thought he was the better choice, but honestly, I miss my Uncle Joe. I was a nobody, and I was balling then. Now, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even show you $5 in my pocket.
We spoke to Trump voters here in Florida who are ticked off about the fact that the gas prices in the state have gone up by an average of about 60 cents within just a week.
I would just wish he'd keep up on his campaign promise and say he was going to put it under $3. He'd end that war so fast, but here it is, 5 years later, helping his buddy out get his more money. And then never mind charging us Americans all sorts of money for fuel that you just stole from Venezuela.
And those gas prices are getting higher because of volatile oil prices due to the war in Iran, a war that these Trump voters tell us they hope wraps up quickly.
If I could, speak to the president, I'd just encourage him to finish up this war and get us back to a safe world.
He's saying about for our safety, leave somebody alone, they won't bother you.
Hopefully this conflict over there will end. It's just unfortunate.
The overall vibe here at the gas pump amongst these Trump voters is they feel like the economy is not going well right now.
At the moment, I'm really out of work.
My hope is that it's temporary and it doesn't last for too long, that oil prices come back down. That's my hope.
Fucking motherfuckers! Y'all done raised fuel prices up! Fuel prices is up! I just got back into the business and y'all done raised the freaking fuel prices up! Y'all done raised the prices up $5 a gallon for fuel? Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? don't make no sense.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Lion roar, na the mountain high. Smoke rise up, touch Jaja sky.
Welcome to the Man Cave.
Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Morris. We got Ken and we got Skeptic. Skeptic, can you hear us?
In the building. What's good?
Skeptic, you can hear us? And we got a special guest, Messy Conservative. I'm going to play a clip from her Instagram and then let her introduce herself.
I'm Hispanic, and the deporter in chief is still 6 million plus Barack Obama. Okay? The person who built the cages is still the deporter in chief, Barack Obama. The person who allowed children to come across the border. Now, I will give him this. He did tell the parents, do not allow your children to come up here because I'm sending them back. And I don't care if they don't have nobody with them. I'm sending them back. Now, fortunately for me, because I know how to do actual journalism, anytime anybody ever asks me about any of that, I can pull it up on a drop of a dime. So you can't tell me nothing about none of those executive orders because I know them.
But can I ask a question? Real quick. Can I ask a question?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So with that being said, I'm okay if you want to hold people accountable, but you also have to hold people accountable when they did it on their time. Because the person that has the highest number of deportations is Barack Obama. I'm sorry, Barack Hussein Obama.
Wait, how do you say Barack Obama, but you're wearing the Trump hat, and Barack doesn't even like Trump?
No, she's saying
that has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Deported more. She's saying Obama deported more. But this is my steaming question. This is my steaming question. And I know the world, because I know they're going to be asking this in the comments. Yeah. You're Spanish, and Trump is trying to deport your family members.
What I was gonna say. I'm Hispanic too, and I don't think that's
but he's
right.
not trying to deport my family.
You're not Spanish?
But that's not what you said.
That's it. That's what I said. I said the people in the comments are going to be like, you got to make America great again. And you're Spanish, but they're trying to deport Spanish people.
Did Trump get the Latino vote?
Yes, because they were ignorant. They were
Did Trump get the Latino vote? Yes or no?
I mean, he got the majority. That's all I paid attention to be honest with you. He won.
They're trying to.
You're
not answering my question.
I'm asking you.
No, you're not answering my question.
Go ahead.
Did he get the Latino vote?
He won. I don't know if he got it or not. How about that?
Okay, so hold on. So if he got the Latino vote, right? If he got the Latino vote, that means the Latino community supports it.
Okay.
And out of ignorance, because they did not know.
They support their family members getting deported.
No. And I am Hispanic. They did not know. They thought that he was helping, but he was not.
Okay.
Throwing paper towels and tissues is not helping.
Who the hell is that?
Trump.
Okay, so were you this vocal under Barack Obama? Is what I'm asking you.
Barack Obama?
No, I'm asking you, as a Hispanic, were you this vocal about kids in cages?
Yes.
Messy Conservative, welcome to the Man Cave. Tell people where they can find you and, about your content.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. And my name is Mika. I am the Messy Conservative, and you can find me on every social media platform at the Messy Conservative.
For sure. So one of the big talks right now is about the school that was bombed in Iran. They're saying the U.S. did it. This is Senator Kennedy talking about it.
You actually talked to NBC News last night about that strike on the girls' school, and you said it was terrible. We made a mistake. I'm just so sorry that it happened. Why did you feel like it was important to say that?
Because I think it's the truth. I mean, we're investigating, but I'm not going to hide behind that. I think it was a terrible, terrible mistake. The investigation may prove me wrong. I hope so. The kids are still dead, but I think it was a horrible, horrible mistake. I wish it hadn't happened. I'm sorry it happened. Yeah, I can assure you it wasn't intentional. That's the sort of thing Russia does. We don't do that. But, you know, I don't see any other possible explanation. And when you make a mistake, you ought to admit it. Most people understand no one's perfect. But I don't think our men and women who are fighting for us did it intentionally. I'll never believe that.
Fair enough. So speaking of the men,
Ken, what's your thoughts on the school getting hit and that the United States is the ones that they said that did it?
Well, first of all, who were the kids? And then when you find out who the kids, then you know that wasn't a mistake. Now, are these regular children, or did these children belong to some of these administration's enemies? And when you find out who the children are, then you find out, was this an accident or not? And if, based on my research, they also hit it again 40 minutes later, right? So that's not an accident. But when you find out who the enemies, who the children were children of, then it's not an accident. Khamenei's grandchild was also killed, right? His wife, women were also killed, right? He's the big figurehead, but based on history of warfare and United States bombing, we definitely bomb children. We do it domestically too. You ever heard a move in Philadelphia? So this is not foreign to us. You know what I'm saying? The people that know what's up, right? So we'll bomb children. Well, if it involves our interests, we'll bomb women, we'll bomb children. It doesn't matter. The difference is now is the coverage of things. So now Americans are finding out what our foreign policy really looks like. Before, there was no internet. You know what I'm saying? When we was watching Desert Storm when we were young, we had to watch the television to do it. Right now, it's user-generated content. So now we could go online and see people with their actual phone filming it. So this changes the landscape of warfare because it was never covered like this. So it is definitely part of our behavior to bomb children, women, people that are not even in the military, and warriors. So I don't think that was an accident at all.
So this was Trump thoughts on it.
Missile likely destroyed that Iranian girls' school. So will the U.S. accept any responsibility?
Well, I haven't seen it. And I will say that the Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries, you know that. And whether it's Iran, who also has some Tomahawks, I wish they had more. But whether it's Iran or somebody else, the fact that a Tomahawk is very generic. It's sold to other countries. But that's being investigated right now.
Oh, great. By the way, Iran doesn't have Tomahawks.
Right.
So I looked into that. Iran actually does not have Tomahawks. So there's that.
Skeptic, what's your thoughts on what Trump just said?
I think he's trying to backpedal on the fact that it's starting to really add up, and you can tell his ignorance in the fact that he didn't have foreign policy when it came to conflicts with other nations. I believe that his policy was peace through strength, and I believe that he ran on peacetime president and no new wars, and it almost seems like he lied to his base. So I think he's trying to backpedal, being that he got out of the Iran deal, saying that it was a bad deal, but now it seems like he's asking for the exact same requirements that were in the Iran deal, but now Iran says, we don't believe you because last time we had a deal with you, you kind of went behind our backs, backstabbed us and said, we're just not going to follow it.
So a lot of people, this reporter went viral for asking Trump a question.
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. You're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But Tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have Tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report. Yeah, please.
So, Mika, you're our MAGA representative tonight. What is your thought on the Tomahawk missiles and the school getting bombed?
So I don't know much information about the school getting bombed. I haven't seen that today, but just from what I saw, I will say this: if it is indeed America, one, it's is, yeah, that's a sad situation right there. I like I said, I can't speak too much on it because I don't know the particulars of it, but I will agree with Ken on one point that it is in our foreign policy to definitely bomb children. And you don't have to go back as far as Desert Storm. You can go right to Barack Obama when he bombed that 16-year-old sitting in the coffee house. Okay, when we weren't supposed to be in Yemen. And it's not a liberal or conservative thing or Democrat Republican thing, because George Bush did the same exact thing with going invading these countries and being in countries that we weren't supposed to be in. So America does a lot of things that they shouldn't. But if I can just take a guess here, I would say, let's give credence to what Trump said, right? I would say that there's a certain country that I'm not particularly excited about helping. And I wouldn't be surprised. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, for sure. So there's a lot of talk about the cost of war. Ken, you shared this to the group chat, so I'm going to play this and I'll let you respond.
Okay.
If you look at just the first 100 hours of the war on Iran, the U.S. spent $3.7 billion. That's more than what most countries spent on their entire militaries in 2024. Gone in 4 days, less than 5% of it approved by Congress. Here's how much a day of war on Iran costs the U.S. The Center for Strategic and International Studies broke down the bill. Item 1. Operations. Keeping more than 200 fighter jets in the air, a fleet of warships at sea, and artillery on the ground. About $196 million. Most of it was already budgeted. The real cost was what this war machine fired. Item 2. Munitions. Over 2,600 guided weapons launched in 100 hours. Missiles, precision bombs, drones. Replacing them cost $3.1 billion. Item 3. Things that broke. 3 F-15 jets destroyed by friendly fire in Kuwait. The bill came in at $359 million. Add it all up, and it's $3.7 billion for 4 days of war. At the beginning of the campaign, the most expensive weapons went first. On day 1, Iranian air defenses could destroy almost anything that got close. So the U.S. struck from a distance with Tomahawk cruise missiles at $3.6 million apiece. By day 4, with Iranian defenses degraded, bombers dropped $80,000 smart bombs. But the most expensive part of this war isn't the bombing, it's stopping what Iran fires back. A Shahed drone costs Iran up to $50,000. Shooting one down can cost 100 times more. In 4 days, Iran launched 500 ballistic missiles and 2,000 drones, and they don't necessarily need to hit anything. Every launch depletes the other side's air defense stockpile. Gulf allies helped absorb the blow. They intercepted more than 1,800 missiles and drones. So who pays for all this, and how? Of the $3.7 billion, only $178 million was in the Pentagon's budget. Everything else, no funding source. The Trump administration is running this war on a military credit card, and Congress hasn't seen the bill yet. When it arrives, there are 3 ways to pay. 1, a supplemental spending bill. Trump asks Congress for emergency money, the way George W. Bush did after Iraq and Afghanistan. But every vote on funding becomes a vote on the war. 2, redirect part of the $150 billion from the first Trump reconciliation bill. But that money has already been promised elsewhere. 3, roll it into a future spending bill that may never pass. Today, every day of this war costs close to $1 billion. Some Republicans estimate it may even be double that. And 4 days cost about what it would to rebuild every single school destroyed in Gaza.
Candace, your clip, what's your thoughts on
it? On the ground, we always go back and forth about who loves this country, right? Does the regular working American Democrat really love the country? Does the regular working mom and pop Republican really love the country, right? There's always this back and forth on the small level about who is really loves this country and who hate this country. I'm 42 years old. My entire life, this has been the behavior of the Oval, right? My entire life, whether it was Clinton, whether it was Bush, whether it was Obama, whether it was Trump, whether it was Biden. It does not matter who's in the Oval. The behavior stays the same. Now, I'm going to look at those numbers and ask myself, based on those numbers and based on I travel America and I get to see how Americans are doing, I'm going to go out on the limb and say anybody that sits in that Oval does not like Americans. They love the United States, though, which is the politics, but they don't love the Americans. Americans are farmers. Americans are mechanics. Americans are school teachers. Americans are mom and pop businesses. Americans are suffering on Skid Row. Americans are going through opioid crisis. Americans don't have adequate nutrition, right? If you sit in that seat, you are anti-American. The reason why I say that is because there is never an investment back into the people. That's my evidence. That's my proof. It always goes to people that now it's people that's not even from this country. So we know who that is. But it always benefits corporations. It always benefits defense contractors. It never benefits the people. And those are the people that hate this country.
Can I also add that that's on the daily? Like that 1 billion is on the daily, what we're spending here on the daily. Yes. So every day we're in this conflict. So correctly going to say conflict. We're spending $1 billion. Like that's wild.
But that's been the case. I mean, if you go back to Bush and you take all of it, it was 1.9 trillion when they were done. If you go back to Barack Obama, it was 1.7 trillion when he was done. All right. So at the end of the day, that's the military industrial complex. Like you're not going to get out of that. Okay. Barack Obama said something very interesting when he was in office, and he said, corporations are people too. So with that being said, you have corporate interests on both sides. Okay. We have rhinos on the right, and then, we have the neocons on the left. So until you get those people out of office, until you stop voting those people out of office, it doesn't matter who's actually in the seat of the presidency, because the people that hold the purse are corporate.
I think it's just clear to me, though, that like he ran on no new wars, right? And like you literally lied to your base. You said no new wars. You said America first. You said peacetime president. You said peace through strength. Like, are we okay that he just lied? Like, is that going to be fine with everybody? And then not to mention the fact that you just have this new reporting coming out that the Pentagon under Pete Hegseth last year in September spent $93.4 billion in 1 month. And you know what they did? They bought crab legs, they bought donuts, they bought ice cream machines, they bought all these things. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me finish my statement real quick, and then I'll let you respond. They bought all of these things, and at the end of the day, we were about to go into a government shutdown. You have Kristi Noem, who bought 2 jets, G700s, during a shutdown when they were not going to fund SNAP benefits for the poor Americans. Like they're literally looking at us in our face and thinking we're stupid. And I'll say this, it doesn't matter party lines. At this point, I'm ready to drop the parties. This is wild. Like, this is crazy that they look at Americans and they think we're stupid.
The only reason I'm going to push back on your statement is because of the context of the 93. And that's because that went to our soldiers, our army, our military. They literally threw all types of, whether you want to call it get-togethers, barbecues, it's all visible. I mean, our soldiers had a feast. They had, as you said, king crab, lobster, all of that. Our military. That wasn't Pete Hegseth sitting at a table, with Salt Bay eating. That actually went to our military. We actually put on events for them. So when I say add context, I noticed that a lot of the times the people that don't like Donald Trump, and you don't have to like Donald Trump because that's your right, but the people that don't like Donald Trump never add context to any of the narratives that they set. So when you talk about that, or when Aaron, who quote unquote was the one that released it online. When he talks about it, he never provides context. And so when you go down to actually look into the story, it actually has context. And the context is that it was spent on our actual troops.
Okay, so I want to get Nora in the conversation. So, Nora, I want to show you who told Trump to get into this war.
It was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this at the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us. And
so, Nora, Jared Kushner was a part of the Trump administration the first term, but is it right for him to be giving Trump advice on who to go to war with?
So let me say this. My father is Moroccan. I have family in the Moroccan government. Iran is a problem. Whether we want to admit it or not, Iran is a problem to the Middle East, to North Africa, and their surrounding neighbors. However, when I heard that they only sent Steve Witkoff, they only sent Jared Kushner to go negotiate with these people, I said, y'all don't want a deal. They wanted this to happen. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say it. They wanted this to happen. What I believe is you can look at this one of two ways. You could say it's because he's doing it for Israel, which is what everybody's saying. Or my other thought process in this is he wants us out of the Middle East. We were spending trillions, to Mika's point, under the past 4 presidents. It wasn't even just Trump. This is never ending in the Middle East. I believe this is a way to get our troops out. I believe this is a way to get us to pull back, because we're not going to have peace in the Middle East while Iran is there. While Iran and the Hezbollah and the Ayatollah that was running that, we were never going to have peace. They were the ones that were funding Hezbollah, the Houthis, all these freedom fighters, like some people call them. Other people on the right will call them terrorists. They were funding the terrorists. So I see both sides of this. I believe that this has to happen, unfortunately, for us to get out of the Middle East. But I condemn any type of loss of life when it comes to women and children. I wish we were going to see people duking it out instead of it having to be women and children getting killed. And I condemn us using a nuke. But I think the only way we're going to get out of this without losing our soldiers, I hate to say it, and you heard it here first, I believe we are going to drop a nuke at this point. There's no way out unless we're going to go drop our boys to go get to slaughter. Those mountains, we can't trek up the mountains. There's a reason why nobody has done what Donald Trump has done. And I know it's harsh for me to say I love our troops as somebody whose family has served in 2 generations, as somebody who has had a romantic partner that was serving actively, almost missed the birth of my son. I love our troops and I love this country. But the reality is, if you love this country, I need you to get on the phone. You need to call every senator, every congressman and say, no troops on the ground. Because I'm telling you, the moment we put troops on the ground, that is, we're going to see 100,000 easily lost. We are 4 to 1 outnumbered if we send our boys there.
Well,
I wanted to say this too. Great. That's cool. Okay. Right. I wanted to say this too. Based on the pattern of me being observant of Donald Trump since I seen him on Home Alone, at the core, this is a businessman, right? And this is choking up the economy globally, right? I think he was moving off what other people said, and I have a prediction that the New York in him is going to take over. Seriously, though. I think the New York in him is going to take over, and he's going to do a cost risk analysis with Benjamin Netanyahu, because at the end of the day, the greater Israel project is what they want, right? And then they'll turn on America. Israel will turn on America. Facts, right? And I think eventually Trump is going to take over because he's a person that thinks in terms of legacy, and his hubris is too big to take certain L's. He's not going to keep he's not going to be looked at as a bad businessman. Yes, he had bankruptcies and all that, whatever. But his wiring, that's a New York boy, right? And he's not going to keep taking this bad intel from all these people and it falling on him. He's going to override some of this shit. I guarantee it.
So I want to play what Ted Cruz said, because it seems like a lot of people are afraid to talk about Israel because of anti-Semitism.
Classroom, I'm a lot less certain. And it is being spread by loud voices, the most consequential of whom is Tucker Carlson. I believe Tucker Carlson is the single most dangerous demagogue in this country. And I'll tell you, I've made the decision that I'm going to take him on head directly.
Not lying, Ted.
If you look at the dissent of Tucker Carlson, and they're all the sort of lesser chattering voices that are moons circling his twisted planet. But if you look at the dissent, it started about a year and a half ago with platforming crackpot professors seeking to rewrite history about World War II. So he has one idiot whom he describes as the most consequential popular historian in the country, who leans forward and intones that Winston Churchill was the villain of World War II. He then finds another crackpot professor who says there's a good argument that America should have sided with the Nazis in Germany in World War II. And for all of this, Tucker gazes adoringly. By the way, no, there is not. Winston Churchill was an extraordinary historical figure. There's a reason Churchill's bust is on my mantle. If you come to my office, on the mantle there are 3 busts, one of Churchill, one of Reagan, and one of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 3 extraordinary leaders who had vision. But it's not just there, it then descends. Look, Nick Fuentes. It's actually interesting if you look at Republican politicians. Nick Fuentes is easy to denounce. And I actually think it's a tell among a Republican politician if they'll denounce Fuentes but are scared to say Tucker's name. That tells you a great deal. Nick Fuentes is a goose-stepping Nazi. Wow. And by the way, I'm not one who throws around the term Nazi loosely. But when Nick Fuentes says, Hitler was very, very cool, I like Hitler and I agree with Hitler. Like, when you say you agree with Hitler, you are a Nazi. Tucker has Fuentes on his show. Doesn't question him about any of the ridiculous things he said. Doesn't react at all when Fuentes tells him his mission is to combat global Jewry. And Tucker nods, interesting. Fuentes tells him every year he celebrates Stalin's birthday. By the way, what kind of freak even knows Stalin's birthday? I don't know it, and I don't care to know it.
Go ahead, Nora.
Yeah, guys, real quick, because he played this quick. Sunday night, please come back. We will be hosting a debate regarding the rise of anti-Semitism in Gen Z. Enzo will be debating Andre. Actually, he's bringing the moderator for the Opinionated Girl, so he will be a 2v1 debate. So yeah, come back Sunday night at 8 p.m.
Skeptic, you're on the left. It seems like anti-Semitism is mainly on the rise on the right, but it is some on the left with more progressive people who are pro-Palestine. What's your thoughts on the rise of anti-Semitism?
Yeah, I think that you can be anti the IDF, like the government of Israel, without necessarily hating the people of Israel. You can disagree with what the government is doing and the way that they are moving, and at the same time still think that Israelis may not necessarily 100% agree with the government, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like America, and that's the way I look at it. I can go to Italy and be like, I don't agree with all the craziness, but people are going to look at me and be like, oh, you're American, like side-eye to you. So I think that both things can be true. I do think the left is very much, it's crazy because the right came out and said America first, but now from what I am hearing, the left is saying, why are we fighting a foreign nation's, interest? Why are we fighting their interest when we had an agreement with Iran? And then we went back on our agreement and now we're fighting for this nation that, like Ken said, could turn their back on us or could just potentially, they're handing us the bill and we're paying it for them. And like what they were saying about the ballistic missiles, we're having to counter their ballistic missiles. And like they're saying, we have this, when they, depart these missiles, we're having to counter those and we're running out of those missiles. And like all of this is costing the taxpayer, American taxpayer money. And to say that the $97 million was not out of this world, that they have to make all of their financial records public to us, to Americans. This is why we know that the Pentagon has not been able to pass an audit in the last decade. So like we know for a fact that the Pentagon, that the Department of Defense is number one, expensive, and number two, is not using their money correctly. They are mishandling taxpayer money.
Okay, so we go change gears. We're gonna talk about the N-word.
Oh, fart nigger. What the fuck is that I just said? Nick, you gotta, can you kill that? Fuck my life.
Now it says you use the term fart digger and fart knocker. You used those terms before?
So fart knocker, yes, absolutely. Fart digger.
What's up with your farts?
You know what? Again, do you have boys in here? Do you have boys?
Yeah,
okay.
I have 2 boys.
I have 1.
Okay, so boys talk about farts all the time. Okay, so, and again, I can't swear on my show. Okay, so yes, I have made up these crazy words.
If you said fart digger, the amount of times that you said, I just feel like you should have released that 1,000,001 times, because it just seems like it's something that you said before because it just came out so naturally.
And fart digger sound like you playing at assholes all day. Why?
Yeah, that's a little nasty.
That's another conversation.
No. And
why
again,
would you just be digging
I
in
don't
random
have
asses?
crazy.
I
Digging for
don't have a rhyme or reason of the words that I make up. Like I say nonsense stuff all the time. I mean, and again, like even when I edit my shows, right? And I'll be editing my shows and I'll be like, fuck, just finish what the fuck you're saying. Because I go off on like this and that and I'm off the cuff. I'm not scripted.
So were you trying to say something else in that moment?
Absolutely.
Because you say fart digger and fart knocker.
I say all that. No.
What I can say is I understand you.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Not you. Let me finish, nigga. I mean, oh my God. I'm sorry.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
That's why
I'm just in the middle here again.
That's why I feel comfortable using.
You use that term, but
No,
like
she
you.
should feel comfortable because anyway, listen, I understand you apologizing to your kids first, because my thought is some of them are in school. You got your 28-year-old, but you have kids in school.
Yeah.
And they may have black friends, you know what I'm saying? And for them to see their friend's mom use the term, and then they could be bullied for that, they could have to pay that price.
Well, I apologize to them because I have that is just we live in Detroit. There are a couple people. I don't even know if I can say. Can I say, am I in the hood?
Well,
I don't even know.
So your best friends are black and you live in the hood.
No, but listen,
and she
I'm not.
usually says, what up, though?
Well, I will say
But
this.
I want you to live your truth.
No, and what my truth is I would say I live in Detroit. I am a Detroiter.
So I'm trying to figure this out. Hold on. What are you trying to prove here by
I'm not,
when you
but
keep saying you're from Detroit and you're around rappers and your best friends are black?
Okay.
And what are you
See,
saying?
I told you that was going to come back and bite me in the ass.
But look,
I
that's
said
what I'm
that.
saying.
I'm trying to figure out what
That's
you're
going to
trying to
happen
say.
anyway.
No, I know.
But I'm asking her, what is she trying to say?
No, but I think it's a learning moment for you, because we don't have the privilege to not understand what we're saying, why we're saying it. So even in this moment, you may not mean anything by saying I live in Detroit, but even if you didn't get caught saying the N-word on this video, it still would come off as very privileged and very unbalanced because it's different for us. And that's what we're trying to have a conversation
And
about.
I agree with Lauren, and I would also add, do you think sometimes privilege makes people think they can say anything?
Oh, absolutely. I don't say that word. I know that. But the R word. Or any other word that hurts.
What is this R word you keep referring to?
How do you not know it? Yeah, I know
what it. Because
you might use it.
I don't use
Okay, well, it's used to describe.
What is the R word?
It was used to describe people.
It's retarded, yo.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess.
Like saying fart nigga and then coming to a black radio show and trying to explain yourself about it. That
is retarded.
Yes.
Right, there you go.
Yes.
You know what? And you know what? You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Nicole.
You're right. I came here to have an open conversation, and I didn't have to.
Nicole,
Yeah.
And honestly, I respect that you.
But I don't.
I
would say, please don't use that word. And then I would explain to people why I don't
I
want that
agree,
word.
and I would
used.
say please don't use
Exactly.
the
And when
N-word.
people have said that around me, I'm like, don't use that word around me. Do not. We don't use that word.
Imagine hearing them together. Can you imagine? Your brain would just fucking explode, wouldn't it, Nicole?
But I listen.
Think about it.
Obviously, I'm not afraid of confrontation.
With the N-word
I
behind
got it.
Mika, you're the messy conservative.
Oh my God.
Should she be canceled? What is your thoughts on this?
Oh my gosh, absolutely not. She don't need to be canceled. I don't believe in canceling anybody. Let people talk, okay? And you'll realize who people are. However, growing up in a mixed race family, I have been on both sides of that. So I can definitely see why they're on her. But here's my thing. It seems to me that, white liberals, okay, they have to try to apologize and capitulate and do all of this stuff, and you're better off just being who you are, because once people see who you really are and you've been acting a certain way, it's not going to go your way. And to me, that woman has absolutely said the N-word tons of times, okay, tons of times, absolutely, and I think she said it in that clip. Now, if she's going to come clean about it or not, I don't know. She says she hangs with Black people. To me, that type of talk speaks of, being pretty much probably adjacent to racist, right? Because it's, I have Black friends. It's, I have this. I'd rather people just be honest and just say, hey, I don't like Black people. I don't hang with Black people. I think Black people are this. That's absolutely fine with me. That's honest, but when you start to do all of that, which seems to me a lot of liberals do, because the first thing that, white liberals do when they get on my page is, I'm a spick, I'm a N-word, I'm a this, I'm a that. It comes right on out like you've been saying it forever. So I think that woman just embarrassed herself. She absolutely said it, and if she's going to apologize for it, okay. But to try to come on and, do all that mental gymnastics, ma'am, you said it, I didn't mean to say it. Let it go. Otherwise, they're going to do exactly what they did. And I'm not a big fan of Charlamagne, but he was correct.
Okay. So did Jules invent transgenderism?
And there's been a rise in anti-Semitism all over the country right now, and it's disgusting and it's horrible. People should know that one of the first things that the Nazis did, and I think it was in 1933, was they burned Magnus Hirschfeld's Gender for Sexuality. Magnus Hirschfeld was studying trans people, LGBTQ people. Lily Elbe, who the film The Danish Girl was about, she had her first gender-affirming procedure at Magnus Hirschfeld's clinic. The Nazis burned it down. All of this research. And there were
So, Ken, that's basically what conservatives are saying about that. Do you feel like that's anti-Semitic?
A good essay to read is Vladimir Justinsky. He is a Russian Zionist. This was from 1923. He talks about how they were going to use this idea of anti-Semitism as a cloak of victimhood as a political power. First of all, no one ever defines what a Semite is. And if you study the Balfour Declaration, these people are European. They're from Ukraine. They're not Semites. Bibi Netanyahu is not a Semite. He has a European name. People that are Semites are Arabs, Hebrews. These people are not that. They are stealing other people's birthright. But when you have talking heads never define actually what is a Semite, go to an old encyclopedia. It will tell you exactly what a Semite is. The people that live in Palestine are Semites. The people that live in the Middle East are Semites, right? The people coming from European countries are not Semites. They are converts. They're Ashkenazis. Those are not Semites, right? And just to go back, for the record, Ted Cruz represents Texas. Texas doubled its investment in Israel bonds in this year, 2026, to $280 million. Right, so the state of Texas is going to allocate $280 million to the state to Israel. Why? So yet again, right?
I'll show you why, Ken. Keep talking. I'll show you why. This is why.
America first and shit like that. Right?
Special token of affection.
He got the key to the country.
Didn't he already have it? Didn't he already have it?
He has a room in the White House.
Already have it. This has been a thing.
I feel you. I feel you. That was all you had to say about that kid?
Huh?
So I'm going to get Nora and Skepta to respond to what the Dwight Howard wife had to say about him.
Coaching our son to lie on me, and I had to record it, and it's this shit. I try to tell everybody he needs some help, and ain't nobody would have fucking listened because he got the money. I can say whatever, y'all don't understand. I live with him. He needs some help. And this is it. This is what I'm fucking losing my fucking marriage to. This shit.
Nah, man.
This shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it.
Nah, man. Good cocaine ain't never did nothing to nobody. I can't let her do that against no good Yola. Good coke ain't never did nothing to nobody, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and tolerate that. Can't just be talking about no good coke like that.
Skeptic, how you feel about the Dwight Howard wife?
You know,
did you hear about it?
I saw a video about it and people were like dogging her and saying all these things about her, that she's been complicit in him indulging in this and like she was a part of it. I think that me, honestly, like I'm not the type of person, I don't have like an addictive type of personality, but I also don't think like that type of thing. I feel like anything that you're adding onto your body that isn't like coming from, and I know that it comes from a plant, but I just feel like it's hard to contain something like that. Like anything that you're putting into your body that's making your brain act in a way that is not normal or it's hyping it up. Number one, stimulants are not good for your brain because they cause memory loss in the long term. And like in my family, I know genetically we're exposed to having Alzheimer's in old age. So like I stay away from stimulants. So like you just have to, if you play with fire, you're going to get burnt. Like my whole thing is like, try to stay as natural as you can, stay away from stuff like that, optimize your brain. Why don't you use things that are good for your brain to kind of help it optimize itself? There are things that are natural instead of you using like, methylene blue is good for you if you have ADHD instead of you using things that you're going to become dependent on.
For sure. So, Nora, I know you're a 90 Day Fiance fan, so I'm gonna play.
Oh, so I wanted to respond to Dwight Howard. I wanted to add something.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what we're not talking about with Dwight Howard is these allegations. I don't believe had anything to do with this drug use. It has to do with him being physically abusive to his sons. He physically abused his child with Royce Reed, and then that same child, was then involved in an incident being abusive to their stepbrothers and sisters, and the child was taken from Royce Reed's custody. So I think that the drugs, to Ken's point, like good drugs isn't the reason for abuse allegations. However, I do believe Dwight Howard is abusive, and that's important to note in this conversation, I think.
Okay, for sure. So we go get to who's all 90 Day Fiance fans in here? Everybody seen it? All right. So, Ken, you haven't seen it? You don't hear me?
I don't watch that. Yeah, I don't watch that.
So you don't know this guy right here?
Yo, fam. Finally, I'm divorced. This is the paperwork. Yeah, that's the cut there.
Was he married to that big older lady?
This was Georgia.
Maybe
I want to say a big thank you to each and everyone for the love and support. It hasn't been an easy journey. I want to say a big thank you to everybody. God bless you all. I'm officially divorced. Thank you, Father Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Single life, here I come. Thank you. Shout out to you, my cause. Peace. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Officially divorced.
City boys up.
Hey, he got his papers legally, didn't he?
Yeah, city boys up, baby. City boys up. Let's go.
Passport.
This is them right here. Skeptic, you watched 90 Day? I don't think you can hear me. Nora, what's your thoughts on this? I know you're the entertainment person. I know you're a big 90 Day fan.
My thoughts is she had no business being with this young boy in Africa. Shout out to him because he's actually a Trump supporter. Michael likes Trump. Michael was like, yes, I'm about to go live in America with Trump, baby. So Shout out to Michael for that reason. But I mean, at the end of the day, he really was shady. And I also think that the way Angela talked about bringing him here, I'm going to say something really controversial. I feel like she wanted a slave. She wanted a houseboy. She wanted to bring him here so she could treat him like a sex slave and to cook and clean in her house. If you watched it, because that was one of the stories I actually did watch to comment.
She getting cornrows? Oh my God. Yeah. She getting cornrows. Come
She
on,
looks
bro.
crazy. I
Yeah,
think
she
I
getting
think they all do
cornrows.
that though. Don't they all do that? Like, I think when
All
they
the
go over
spicy
there to
women.
get people on 90 Day Fiance, like the guy, you know, with the little short guy, you know, he was mean to those ladies. Like he was mean. And I think a lot of the times they go over to other places. They think these people are stupid and you know will do anything to get over here. Some will. And you know, they think they can, you know, marry them and they're gonna just be just like Nora said. But you know, any man that can wear flip-flops like that, you gotta watch him because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get over here and get my papers and I'm out. That's
Okay,
Man,
exactly what he did.
these snow queens is just giving it out. So go ahead and get your passport, get your papers. They just giving it out. So go ahead and get your eagle on.
That's
Did
nasty
y'all
work.
remember? Did y'all remember this person? I'm gonna play this clip.
Lita from 90 Day Fiance, she's the one who was married to Eric. Their infant daughter passed away and it has been ruled non-accidental. So it looks like they are going to be in some very big trouble. Lita is already facing, I believe, 27 felony charges, but now I would really be interested to see what they may be charged with. The autopsy report showed physical abuse and malnutrition of this infant, a literal infant. She was on life support for a few days leading up to her ultimately passing away. So I will keep you guys updated if her or
I'm gonna play the clip of her 90 Day Fiance episode to see if y'all recognize her for the 90 Day Fiance fans.
Oh, I remember her. I got backstory on her. She's rich. She's like Thailand or something.
All right, go ahead, Nora. What? Give us the
She's
background.
actually wealthy. She comes from a wealthy family. I remember her now. She came from money and she was like, oh, this is disgusting the way they're living. So actually, I'm not really surprised that she probably unalived her kid. I don't know for what reason. I don't know. That's crazy to me, though. I don't remember much. I just remember her coming from money and like not really wanting to come here.
Okay, for sure. So I'm gonna play one last clip, and we're gonna take a poll on if you guys think this person should be running for political office because Trump just endorsed him.
With us, I know he wants us on the right side of history, and everyone here has to do their part. And God's got us. Trump's got us. God bless. Love you, Kentucky.
No, he's a great guy. He's a courageous guy and a talented guy. He's a hell of a fighter, too, by the way. And I just want to say, I'm going to make a prediction that you will be, in the not too distant future, running for political office. Okay? And you have my complete and total endorsement, okay? No, that's what we want. He's an incredible guy. A lot of courage.
All right, Nora, we're gonna start with you and go around. Should Jake Paul run for political office?
Why not?
Ken?
Hell yeah, he an internet baby. You know what I mean? He understands social media, monetization. I mean, why not?
Miko, what about you?
Sure, everybody else in politics is on the internet. Why not?
Well, Skeptic left, so I guess her answer was no too. So, if you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button. Oh, there you are, Skeptic. Skeptic, what was your vote for Jake Paul should run for office? Yes or no? Can she hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. That's wild. That is crazy. And I will say the bar is really low. Like for all of us that are even like political commentators, I feel like you take the time, like so much research that I've taken to like go and read, and then to see these very unserious people, like it's very like enraging. Like how can you be so ignorant? And it almost like let's go run for office. Like let's go do something because this is wild. Like this is on I know people that are politicians and they're way more serious than this. Like it's turned so unserious that it's wild. It's mind blowing.
I would agree with Skeptic.
Skeptic, at the end of the day, though, this is political theater. This is political theater. Ronald Reagan was an actor. Arnold Schwarzenegger was an actor. Donald Trump comes from television, right? At the end of the day, this is political theater. It has real world results, but the characters are every last one of them are actors. Every last one of them.
But that's all of them though. That's literally all of them on Capitol Hill. They're all like that. You
get in there, Jake.
You're not going to be able to get around it. So I actually agree with Skeptic on that. But at the end of the day, most of your constituents and your voters, they don't care about your research. They don't even care about the actual facts. They care about how something makes them feel. And I do mean on both sides. So at the end of the day, that's why it's just like this, because they want the political theater. Like we know Jasmine Crockett isn't really ratchet, but she plays ratchet. Why?
Damn. Straight.
Sure. If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know we go live. Skeptic, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I think that people need to stop trying to tokenize the fact that they have friends from different cultures or races. I think that's really wild. And when people say, oh, I have a black this or that or a brown this and that, I say, I have a white toilet. That is closer to your culture or your race. So I think we need to learn to like be respectful and to read some history and why it is that things are offensive to other people. I think you're really stupid to walk in and say something that you don't even understand the context to when you're using words. And I think that it happens very often. Like we're just talking about, people are theatrical and at their core they're very empty people. Like choose to be better. Let's choose to be more educated. Let's choose to be better people, to be a better generation to our children and those that are coming behind. Like I am so against being these, just like people that talk but really have no kind of substance within. Like I choose to try to be better than that. And I think if we all do that, we could be a better generation. And like I always say, don't let them trample on your constitutional rights.
But this ain't a phrase, perfect, Skeptic. Mika, you were a great guest. We'll definitely have to have you back on. Go follow her, the Messy Conservative. Mika, what's your final thoughts?
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. My final thoughts are this. You can work across the aisle. You can talk across the aisle. The problem is when the conversations stop. I say, get offended, because then you might actually want to do something about something. Mm-hmm. I say, go ahead and say what you got to say. But at the end of the day, I think we all need to look in the mirror and say, what did I vote for? Did it align with my values? Or did I vote for this person for a particular identity politics reason? Or did I vote for this person because it's actually going to make my family better? And I think that's a problem that we've gotten, too far away from in this country. So I implore everybody, liberals, conservatives, no matter what you are, vote for your actual values.
For sure. Thank you again for coming, Mika. Ken, what's your final thoughts? I think he's frozen. Nora, what's your final thoughts?
Guys, thank you so much for watching us. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Skeptic and Ken. Thank you to Mika, aka the Messy Conservative, for coming. Definitely appreciate you. We have to bring her back. Guys, if you're watching, make sure you smash and hit that like button. But this is why, in my personal time, I do not really make as much content on politics outside of the new party because it's all a stage. It's all a joke. I would rather cover the reality TV, which I think is realer than the politics we're watching right now. So tomorrow night's topic, I'm taking a break from politics. Come back tomorrow night. We will be reacting to the Manosphere documentary that came out on Netflix, giving some backstory because we have covered many Manosphere topics, Myron Gaines, Andrew Tate on this channel. So we know a little bit more than what the documentary is kind of saying. I will be fact checking the documentary. Is it true? Is it fake? So shout out to Louis Theroux for making that documentary. And shout out to everyone watching. Again, I'm going to say it again. You do not like what's happening in Iran? Pick up that phone and call your politicians, get them on the line. Let's hold them accountable. We voted them in for a reason. We voted Trump and we said no new wars. Trump, I'm putting my foot on your fucking neck. You said no new wars. I'm not trying to see our boys go die over there for no damn other country. Show me, you need to explain this to the American people. Now, I see the reasoning, but you need to defend this because we voted for you and we took hits with our family and we took hits in our life voting for you. So I'm going to need you to hold up your end of the bargain. And that's my closing thoughts.
Oof. Okay, Nora.
And Mia, we was doing a birthday thing for you. Mia's birthday is tomorrow, but Mia didn't show up.
You gonna play it? You gonna show it? I
Play
forgot.
it after Ken final thoughts. Ken,
Okay.
what's your final thoughts?
Man, my final thoughts is, man, if people are still getting offended in 2026 with self-driving cars and automation, if nigger hurts your feelings, you in the way, right? Like, bro, you got to evolve, right? So, and it don't matter, man. The empire is falling. The empire is falling. So turn up, go for what you know, follow your dreams. This is gonna be over in 2 seconds anyway. The empire is falling. You know what I'm saying? And thumbs down to Dwight Howard's ex-wife for getting on here and denouncing Good Blow. You know what I'm saying? You're trash. The empire is falling. And if you could bag a good Becky Snow Queen on 90 Day Fiance and she help you get your papers, man, the game gonna do what it do. The game is undefeated, man. Go in her pockets, do everything you gotta do, man. The empire is falling. Turn up.
You want to play Mia birthday thing, Nora?
Awesome.
So Mia, you didn't come, but we will all say something nice about you. Happy birthday, Mia. We'll clip this. Bray, what's your nice thing to say about Mia?
Happy birthday, Mia. Enjoy another life around the sun.
Ken, what's your thoughts to Mia?
Happy birthday, Mia, and pigeons matter. She know what that means.
Pigeons matter.
Pigeons matter, yes.
I will say, happy birthday, Mia. You are highly intelligent, and I appreciate the conversations that we have, the way that you challenge my thoughts.
I agree. Happy birthday, Mia. I'll be giving you hell. I be keeping my foot on your neck too, because I know how gifted and talented you are, and you got to have pushback because I know you're beautiful and you've been told it all your life. So now you got to be able to speak them facts and stand on it. Mika, do you know? I don't know if you know Mia, but you can say happy birthday if you like to.
I don't know Mia, but hey, you got a good birthday. You got a good birthday month.
Is this your birthday month, Mika?
No, but she's mine is in February, the end of February, so we're born around the same time.
Happy belated birthday! I didn't know.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy belated.
Thank you.
So this is the Man Cave, and Bam Adebayo in Miami just passed Kobe as the most scored points in a game. Here's
That
the
shit was
clip.
so ugly.
I couldn't believe it when I was hearing it in real time. Just like, he got 30 in the first quarter. He got 70. Congratulations to Bam. I know how much work he puts in. I looked at the stat sheet. It's pretty crazy. 40 shots, 40 free throws, 23s. That takes a lot of stamina, man. It takes a lot of energy to go out there and put those shots up, but also make them and set a record and surpass Kobe as the second highest scoring player in the history of the game. I mean, damn. Congrats to him. Huge, huge accomplishment. Something we're going to be talking about forever.
For sure.
Shout out to the Tethers making history in the NBA. FBA's finna be hella mad. FBA's finna be hella mad.
Ken, you are today.
A Nigerian is the second leading scorer, most points a game. Tariq Nasheed is gonna go crazy right now.
I was trying to keep my messiness down. See, I love it.
You gotta have Ken next. Look at him.
Good for you.
For sure. This was a great episode. Have a good night, Man Cave.